seniors in their starting lineup, and Hoiberg, Mikulik, and Meyer. For the Hawkeyes, a single senior, and that is Jim Bartles. You wonder where Mac McCausland's been. Well, after today's shoot-arounds, he was working on the scouting reports. Let's go back a couple of hours ago.
It's just hours before 15,500 screaming basketball fans come to Carver Hawkeye Arena. I've been trying to scout both teams for tonight's game. It's going to be maybe the point guards handling the pressure, while Iowa will make them turn it over. Could it be Kingsbury, Bartles stretching the Cyclone defense? Hoiberg, one of the great players in the Big Eight, could go off for a big night. But Meyer, he will test the inside defense for the Iowa team. Wait a second. Forget the scouting report. This is Iowa State. Let's go to tip-off.
Hello, Northwest. Yes, that's right. We do have a new slogan. Northwest to the nth degree. What does it mean? Well, it just means that we go a little further to make sure that you're happy. Yeah, we do that. Right, we go that far. Not that far.
There's nothing quite like the festive spirit of the holiday season, and nothing brings out that spirit more than the sight and smell of a fresh, natural Christmas tree. Iowa Christmas tree growers have the very finest holiday greenery available. Visit an Iowa Christmas tree farm and capture some of the spirit that comes from purchasing a Christmas tree that is Iowa growing for you. For locations of choose and cut tree farms, contact the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship.
Welcome back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. Mac McCausland was right. Let's tip this thing off.
Indeed, let's do it. The Hawkeyes have won an average of 33 points in their 5 victories. The Cyclones only lost by a point to Purdue, so they are a basket away from being undefeated. This should be a great matchup, Mac McCausland.
It certainly should. You have two well-coached teams, a new coach, Coach Floyd, Coach Davis, and you have tempos. Both of them will like to go up and down the court. Both use half-court defenses. You'll find out they'll try and take away the best thing that each team likes to do.
And Hightower tosses it between Lauren Meyer and Ryan Bowen, and with that 1-inch height advantage, Meyer wins the opening tip. Hightower working this game with Ron Grissom and Paul Jansen. Hoiberg guarded at the outset of the game by Bartles. And again, we'll be watching the matchups, Mac, as there's some interesting personnel decisions to be made by both coaching staffs.
Well, Iowa will do a lot of switching, so they will see different people on Hoiberg or on the inside players.
Ryan Bowen has been sparkling on defense early in his career. Sparkles there, and Kenyon Murray gets the Hawkeyes on the board first.
Andre Woolridge did a good job pushing the ball up court on the pass rather than the dribble. In other games, you've seen him try and drive it up, that time giving it up much earlier.
J.C. Holloway handles the point for Iowa State, but it's a point by committee, as Tim Floyd will use 2 other point guards as well. This is Derek Hayes, good defender, and their number 2 guard trying to throw inside for Mikulik.
Mikulik was wide open, got a back pick, and just a wildly thrown ball by Hayes.
Meyer trying to muscle Settles. And the offensive foul on Lauren Meyer. The coaches in today's ball game: Tim Floyd, his first experience against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And Tom Davis, with a win today, becomes the all-time winningest coach in University of Iowa basketball history. Early change for Tim Floyd as Hurl Beecham has come into the lineup. Settles, dumps it down low, and the ball blocked from behind by Meyer. Murray looking for 2 in a row. Now Bartles for 3. And the crowd very loud at the outset. They're pumped up for this one, Matt.
And the student section went out, and they have cards where they hold up the 3 as the Hawkeyes release it. And this will be, as you indicated, an intense game. Both teams trying to make a statement for their own conference.
Beecham guarding Bartles. Woolridge working against J.C. Holloway. Hoiberg guarding Murray. Right now Mikulik on Settles. And inside, Meyer paired off with Bowen. Here is Kenyon Murray. The ball fake didn't get the shot to go down, and Lauren Meyer, who averages a team best 7.5 rebounds a game for the Cyclones, pulls it down. Bowen, 6 steals the other night against UNI, and an early steal there, also an early block. And a travel against the freshman for the Hawkeyes.
Well, Ryan Bowen, a little excited as a freshman, his first Iowa State battle. Not in balance. trying to catch the ball while standing up.
Derek Hayes taken out briefly by Tim Floyd. He imparted some information to him and got him right back in the ball game, replacing Beecham. So both teams are with their starters.
You see the Iowa players staying off Holloway. He has now been an offensive threat. He is a point guard that sets up the main three shooters, and that's one of them.
Julius Mikulik averages 17.8 points a ball game. And it's a great dimension for a four-man and being able to shoot from the perimeter.
Interesting as Mikulik took the shot, Hoiberg took off immediately to get back on defense. He never once even had an idea to go towards the offensive boards.
And the rebound put back by Bartles. Jim Bartles, who has done such a good job on the defensive glass, unhappy with his offensive rebounding, but happy with that when it got him 2 points.
And his height and offensive rebounding ability has to be a concern to Iowa State as well as other teams that the Hawkeyes will play.
Iowa switching defensive assignments is now Bartles watching Hoiberg. Hayes off the baseline and Kenyon Murray with the rebound. Early, the Hawkeyes are setting the pace on the glass. 4-2 Iowa, 16:58 to go in the first half. Settles over Mikulik. Cold shooting by both teams as the start. Derek Hayes, the sophomore out of Detroit Southwestern High School with a rebound.
Now we'll watch and see if Woolridge continues to drop off the point guard and let Holloway have offensive shooting opportunities.
Holloway averaging less than 2 a ball game, so Iowa feels they can maybe sacrifice guarding him on occasion. Meyer did not get the roll, and the foul goes against Kenyon Murray. That will be the first foul called against the Iowa Hawkeyes, and in fact, first foul called in the ball game. Now the changes for Iowa for the first time as Glasper, Carter, and Kingsbury come in.
You look at Lauren Meyer, you're really looking at the first bona fide postman that Iowa has faced all year. He will stay really down on the blocks, very good moves, turn around, a little hook move, and he has great strength, and he can ball handle. He can be a power dribbler. So the Hawkeyes are going to be challenged with the type of center they'll see in the Big Ten with Lauren Meyer.
I think free throw shooting could be a real big factor in this ball game as we take a look at some other information about the blocking situation, Lauren Meyer, because on Tuesday night against Drake, he set a school record, came up with 6 of them. But Mac, you look at free throw shooting, Cyclones one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. Hawkeyes not especially strong on free throw shooting. That could be a factor today as Mikulik gets the putback.
Yeah. John Carpenter not taking care of the defensive rebound. Hoiberg really bodying up on Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, a tough shooting night against Northern Iowa on Wednesday, not getting that one to go down, and inside, Iowa State is whistled for their first foul. And it's called against Lauren Meyer. Early, the shooting is cold for Iowa, and Iowa State just not getting the opportunities.
Well, you might expect that a little bit. Again, first real big game for the Hawkeyes here at home. And Iowa State, of course, on the road. A little excited about playing the Hawkeyes. Good rebounding by Iowa State. 4 people on the defensive glass.
Meyer, an early force on the boards for Iowa State. Holloway, nice entry pass to Mikulik. .52 left in the first half. Thus far, a tight, intense defensive struggle. Carter with his first foul. The Hawkeyes with their second. The Cyclones have been called for 1. And we have our first timeout. Cyclones enjoying their first lead. We'll return right after this timeout.
Christmas shopping can be stressful.
Try it when you're 8.
But at your local True Value, we make it easy. Even for a kid. With lots of great gifts.
And at prices that won't break the old piggy bank.
Like this 43-piece quarter-inch tool kit for just $8.77. Or this 20-inch toolbox with lift-out tray just $6.99.
And parking, it's a piece of cake.
True Value. Gifts are just around the corner.
Look to be well on their way to a leak.
If you have rust in your water, you could end up with clogged pipes, which could lead to bigger problems. Don't wait for rust to strike. Use Diamond Crystal Red Out, the water softener salt pellets that remove rust from your water. Red Out pellets from Diamond Crystal, because a little rust can do a lot of damage. Gillette introduces the next revolution in shaving closeness. Microfins. And they're only on the new Sensor XL. These microfins precede the blades. As Sensor XL's spring-mounted blades adjust to your face, these soft, flexible fins gently stretch your skin, so your beard stands up for the closest, most comfortable shave. Get closer than ever before. Get the new Gillette Sensor XL.
Cyclones have their first lead, 5-4. Mac, one thing Tim Floyd does, he wants to get that defense set up in a hurry.
You watch Holloway, he puts it into Mikulik now, number 10, Holloway and Hoiberg already will start going back. They are not looking to go to the glass at all. They want to prevent Iowa from being able to get their fast break on a made or missed shot opportunity going.
Kevin Skillett into the lineup for Iowa. The Cyclones back on the floor the way they started the game. Hoiberg's first shot, and the rebound is taken by Meyer. Lauren Meyer's had his hands on a lot of rebounds early. Meyer against the double team, finds the Mayer.
And that is just size advantage by Meyer over any Hawkeye. Being able to grab the rebound. Look at Holloway. He's given 12 feet. Glassford did not go challenging. And you see Kingsbury and Glassford paying attention to where Hoiberg is.
Shot clock is at 8. And the steal by Settles. And again, Iowa State gets down very quickly, makes the transition well from offense to defense. Settles pumping, going for the lead, and the shot does not go down, and the rebound by Lauren Meyer, who has a bunch of them already for Iowa State. He's really been hungry on the board so far. Settles going for the ball. He is called for fouling Lauren Meyer. Let's get another look at the first foul against Jess Settles.
The crowd cannot believe this. It's a hustle play by Settles. Settles with a bruised hip. This guy with a bruised hip still goes on the floor, and they call a foul for Settles with Meyer on the top. Crowd does not like the call at all.
Three team fouls called against the Hawks, just one against Iowa State. It's been an unusual situation because the Hawkeyes have had many fewer fouls than opponents through the first 5 games this year.
Some of the ball handling has gone now to Hayes rather than Holloway. He's brought it up court, and they've just done what you call a waste with a player, taking Holloway to the corner.
Here's Mikulik. Nothing but court from just inside the three-point line, and Mikulik averages 18 a game, has 6 early in this one. Skillett penetrates, does not score. The Hawkeyes' coldest shooting start so far. Meyer, yet another rebound for Iowa State.
And Mikulik, again with his height, can shoot right over Kevin Skillett. But Skillett up as tight as he can get. Iowa State doing a good job of being patient, looking for those shots. We kind of expected a low-scoring game. We thought the defenses might take over rather than the offensive abilities.
So far they have. This is an Iowa team averaging 99 points a game, a Cyclone team averaging 85 points a game.
Watching the situation again where we talk about the guards being able to get back. Now watch Hoiberg. The minute the shot goes up, Hoiberg is gone, and so is Hayes. Actually, all 3 of the perimeter people came back while the shot's going up. Iowa State is conceding the offensive rebound. They will beat Iowa with their first shot attempt.
Murray back into the lineup for Tom Davis. To the baseline. And helping is Meyer with the block.
Not only would they beat Iowa with the first shot attempt, like Mikulik, they think their defense will stop Iowa and make the Hawkeyes have a more difficult time scoring in the half-court offense.
Iowa led 4-2. Since then, the Cyclones have 7 unanswered points. That time a blown assignment, and nobody was close to guarding Julius Mikulik.
You've got to guard the 3 offensive players. Got to guard Meyer, Mikulik, and the Mayor.
Bowen gets around Meyer to score. And that ends the 7-point Cyclone run, 9-6 Iowa State.
Iowa, first field goal, last 7 attempts.
Meyer comes up with the loose ball, and wearing the rebound is Bowen. That was his 3rd rebound. Bowen averaging 6 rebounds a game, had 13 the other night against Northern Iowa.
And Ryan Bowen tired. Slow getting up court after the rebound. He's really got to work against the strength of the inside Cyclones.
And with the foul, J.C. Holloway. Just the 2nd foul called against Iowa State.
Meyer has an open opportunity, just hits the front part of the rim. Bowen using his body to shield off, Meyer as he tried to get the 2nd shot opportunity. Now Woolridge going to the line.
First Iowa free throw opportunity. The Hawkeyes as a team, 63% at the line. The Cyclones, 80%. That's all in the season. And if this game is close late, that's something to keep in mind.
I'll tell you what, it wouldn't really surprise me. Both teams like to get to the free throw line. That's the coach's philosophy. They score a lot of points doing that. The team that can get there 25 times has an excellent chance to win.
Iowa's averaging 32 attempts. Cyclones averaging about 24 attempts a game. Holloway against Murray. Hoiberg guarded by Woolridge. Now Mikulik looking for Hamilton, and it's intercepted by Bartles. Bartles, Iowa's steal leader. That was his 17th swipe so far.
You can really tell how much Iowa State respects Bartles. They had Hoiberg running him the entire time, not allowing the 2 guards to get the ball. Hoiberg's going to have to play a lot of minutes in this game.
A low-scoring, intense defensive struggle. Game tied at 9. There's Hayes against Bartles. Now Mikulik, who's had the hot hand, still does. And he's twice been a step away from a 3, been inside the 3-point line, and has already 10 points of Iowa State's 11.
When you really look at Mikulik, if you break down his offensive game, Mikulik 3 for 3 going into this game with 3s. But he had taken 72 shots. So what it's really telling you is the coaches, I'm sure, have found he is a very good shooter at 17 and maybe more of an average shooter stepping out to 3. He's inside the line. He doesn't even worry about it. He feels very comfortable at that range, but maybe stepping back that 1 step takes him down to the 33% shooter. Tremendous average, and it does open up that inside, his height, to dump it down into Meyer. Easy opportunity for the Clones if they want to run a 2-man game.
Hoiberg with the foul, and that was his first. Bartles now with his 3rd point. It's only his 4th and 5th free throw attempts this season. Bartles has 4. The Hawkeyes and the Cyclones are even at 11. And we've got a timeout with 11:26 to play in the first half. We'll be back after this message from your local station. This is the Raycon Network.
If you used any of these excuses last winter, then free yourself from winter snows with the Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Laugh at the weather in the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Or blow the snow off the driveway with classic Jeep Cherokee with standard driver's airbag. So if you can't make it to your destination this winter, you only have one excuse.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
So, you enjoy watching those fancy beer commercials. Well, that's good, because a Clydesdale eats over 5 tons of hay a year. So every time you buy that beer, it's like you're treating a horse to dinner. But if you'd rather put your money where your mouth is, just say PB Army ASAP and have a Pabst. Because we don't spend a lot of money making fancy commercials. We spend it making great beer. And while some may not understand this philosophy, we're quite sure you will.
A special offer on Ford Taurus can only mean one thing. Hard proof that your Ford dealer is determined to stay number 1 with 2.9 financing or a lease rate of only $249 a month for 24 months. That's right. Get any Taurus GL sedan or wagon with low 2.9 financing or a lease rate of only $249 a month for 24 months. And that includes standard dual airbags, air conditioning, automatic transmission, and more. Your Ford dealer is determined to keep Taurus number 1, and he's got the hard proof to back it up.
So far, 3 ties. This telecast presented by the authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated is prohibited. A defensive struggle thus far, Mac, and again, you're not surprised.
Not at all. Coach Floyd, known for his defense, also becoming an up-tempo coach. He's got great athletes that can score. He's got them in a running game, putting up 90 points 3 or 4 times already this year.
You mentioned that Floyd, known for his defense, he's had 2 teams at New Orleans that were in the top 5 in field goal defense in the country. Of course, he just completed a 6-year stint at New Orleans to become Iowa State's 15th head coach.
And of course, he spent a number of years as an assistant to Don Haskins, Texas El Paso, UTEM, and that's a tremendous defensive coach.
The crowd really into this one. Not a surprise there either. As intense as this rivalry is, last year, Cyclones won this game at Ames 86-79. They scored the last 7 points to win it. For 21, James Hamilton played defense well for Tim Floyd. That's why he's seen more playing time.
After the timeout, Iowa going to the zone, but they're paying special attention. Hoiberg
settles with a rebound off the miss by Hamilton. Murray open, sets, fires, does not get. And right there is Bartles for the putback.
Tremendous pass by Kingsbury. Could not handle the ball and take it as a rebound. Slapped at the ball to get the tip pass. Big carryover, nothing called.
Tom Davis wanted it. He signaled he palmed it. Crowd reacted. No call, though. And then a foul called on the Hawkeyes. Called against Monterre Glasper.
And Iowa State coaching staff wants the intentional foul on Kingsbury.
Yeah, Kingsbury, I said Glasper, it's Kingsbury, his first, and Iowa's 4th. Lauren Meyer wears number 40, of course, in tribute to the late Chris Street. Every year a Cyclone will wear number 40. Last year it was Hoiberg, this year it's Lauren Meyer. It will always be an Iowa player.
Yeah, that was Fred Hoiberg and Morgan Wheat's idea. They had discussed it and approached Coach Orr at the time. Everybody thought it was a good idea. And a very nice tribute to Chris Street.
At the 10:34 mark in the first half, Meyer can tie the game. Meyer has 3. So far, Mikalik, the only field goals for the Cyclones in this game, tied at 13.
And now Iowa State countering with a zone of their own. So the timeouts develop some coaching changes. A little matching of tempo. See how the players respond.
Shot clock is at 9. Shot clock at 5. Kingsbury with the shot clock at 4. First basket for Kingsbury, 16-13 Iowa. Holloway, outstanding assist ratio to turnovers. 36 assists this year, averaging 6 a game, averaging a turnover every 18 minutes. That's why in this point guard by committee, you see the most playing time out of J.C. Holloway.
And against the zone, Iowa State will only look for Hoiberg to take that outside shot. Holloway will not be the shooter.
Iowa with a 3-point lead. Kingsbury looking for 2 in a row from 3-point range. Back-to-back trays by Kingsbury. The Hawkeyes open the lead at 6. And Hightower bangs into Tim Floyd on the sideline, gets knocked down. Meanwhile, on the action, ball out of bounds, and it will be Cyclone basketball. Tim Floyd and Ed Hightower collided on the sideline. Mac Hightower went down momentarily. Tom Davis, meanwhile, thinks that basket ought to count. Woolridge with the foul, his first foul.
Wild and woolly.
It has been that.
And right now, Ed Hightower trying to find his whistle.
Hoiberg to inbound for Iowa State. Game had been tied at 13. Kingsbury then drained back-to-back threes, and so the Hawkeye lead is 6. Iowa State, a veteran team, 3 returnees who averaged 20 points a game last season. Of course, Meyer missed the last 15 games after being involved in the pickup train collision in January.
And you know, Hayes has only shot 1 3-pointer. Holloway will not shoot from there. So again, with this lineup, the person you just got to watch is Hoiberg. Is it 3?
Crowd thought so, but not quite.
And Hoiberg, you see, trying to take Kingsbury out of the game. Iowa State now giving up on the zone, going back to man-to-man where they had the lead. And the zone gave Iowa 2 looks at the basket.
Meyer almost had a rebound. Kingsbury with his second foul. He becomes the first player on either squad with more than 1 foul. 5 team fouls now against the Hawkeyes. Make that the 6th, and the Cyclones have been called with 3. Julius Mikulik, hot hand early, so far has got all the field goals for the Cyclones, and we are almost 12 minutes into the game.
Well, Mikulik has the height advantage. He can shoot a set shot. He doesn't have to take it off the dribble. And of course, Iowa's perimeter defenders, the tallest one, generally will be Kenyon Murray or possibly Bartles.
Hoiberg, Iowa State's leading scorer, averaging 22 points a game.
With this lineup, you find Bartles playing inside and outside.
Mikulik over Murray. Murray goes to the block and gets it. Now Hoiberg for 3. He is shooting 52% at 3-point range. That's incredible.
And he's really trying to deny. You can see at the bottom of your screen, wherever Kingsbury goes, Hoiberg wants to be in front of him.
Woolridge pulls up and scores. Woolridge has, of course, played against the Cyclones before when he was a freshman in Nebraska. Faced Iowa State twice 2 years ago, got 5 points in each of those games, has 5 already in this one. Hayes penetrates, hops, got it. Derek Hayes, his first field goal. And now the Cyclones aren't guarding John Carter out at that point.
No, and I wouldn't either. John is not a threat at 17, let alone the 3-point range. This is where he
gets down low. Cyclone basketball. Pearl Beecham and Jason Kimbrough come into the Cyclone lineup. It will be Iowa State ball when we come back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. 6 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first half. It's Iowa by 3.
Hello, Norwest. Yes, we're the bank with the unbelievable checking. What's unbelievable about it? Well, there's no minimum balance. And also, there's no monthly service charge for as long as you have the account. Right, and then, of course, there's the free pony. No, I was only kidding about the pony. No, you don't get a pony.
Cool.
Now, remember what you learned in Hunter Education.
This father isn't taking chances with safety. He's making sure his children know how to hunt safely, knowing when it's safe to shoot,
Safety on.
Avoiding areas where people live.
That's my girl. You have to stay alert. Know where everyone is at all times.
Because hunting safety isn't inherited. You have to teach it.
Okay.
For more information on hunter education in Iowa, call 515-281-5145.
There's nothing quite like the festive spirit of the holiday season, and nothing brings out that spirit more than the sight and smell of a fresh, natural Christmas tree. Iowa Christmas tree growers have the very finest holiday greenery available. Visit an Iowa Christmas tree farm and capture some of the spirit that comes from purchasing a Christmas tree that is Iowa grown for you. For locations of Choose and Cut Tree Farms, contact the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship.
Here's a look at our McDonald's nothing but net shot.
Number 14, freezing Hoiberg, then just rises up. And Kings buries it again. Chris for 3. And the student section getting into the action with their threes.
13 minutes into this game, Iowa's leading scorer on the season, Settles, has not scored. Iowa State's leading scorer on the season, Hoiberg, has not scored. Hoiberg trying to slip it in to Meyer. And Beecham finds Mikulik. But Bartles takes it away. Bartles out-hustles Mikulik to the basketball. Underneath it is Settles finding Bartles for three. Hoiberg, by the way, did score a three. He went a long time without scoring, then did get that last three, so I take that back. Here's Mikulik on the reverse, and the rebound taken there by Kevin Skillett. Hawkeyes with a three-point lead. Low-scoring defensive struggle.
And you just got to wonder how much of that hip bothers Jeff Settles, because he had a difficult time in the second half of the last game as well as getting started here.
Settles with a season-low 15 against the Panthers in 23 minutes on Wednesday. Woolridge against Holloway. Bowen trying to get around Meyer. He has done it once. Skillett takes it away from Meyer. Now Kimbrough coming up with it. Meyer with good defense by Iowa. And Skillett comes out with it.
Skillett stripped that. Meyer brought it down. That's why the big guy cannot bring the ball down. You got to keep it above your head.
Settles trying to shake Mikulik. Instead goes over the top. And Meyer with yet another Iowa State rebound.
Boy, good defenses by both teams. And the intensity. You've got to play hard if you're going to play great defense. Trying to take away passing lanes.
3-second violation against Iowa State. Hawkeyes ball on the turnover. 5:17 before halftime. Tom Davis 5-3 in his career against Iowa State.
Bartles going inside, getting off a fadeaway. That shows good defense by the Cyclones. And here comes Skillett with a keep alive, being able to then get the ball again. Tipping sometimes, Larry, is as important as actually getting the rebound.
The travel against Settles, the swap of turnovers, and the Cyclones get it back. You mentioned Kevin Skillett. He has done a lot of little things for Iowa this year that have added up to some big results.
It's really the effect of being the veteran, a fifth-year player, that now you understand some of the little detail things you were taught maybe your freshman, sophomore year that you just couldn't put into place at this level. And now Kevin Skillett, anything he can do to keep the ball alive, give a teammate an opportunity or a chance, will block out every now and then. Right now he's shadowing Hoiberg.
Kimbrough trying to run the Cyclone attack. Mikulik way outside. Shot clock hits 10. Steal by Kingsbury. Beat Settles. First bucket for Settles.
And the first bucket in the last 7 attempts for the Hawkeyes. They're 1 of 7. Last 9 attempts. Cyclones just have 1 basket.
Skillett now watching Hoiberg. Mikulik turns on Bowen.
Iowa doing a good job of scrambling, trying to find the open man. And the Cyclones having trouble with their ball handling.
And it's kicked out by Settles, and so Iowa State will have it with only 7 seconds to shoot. Murray and Carter come in for the Hawkeyes. And there's Tim Floyd reminding his team to look at the shot clock and see just 7 seconds. Jason Kimbrough, sophomore out of Detroit, inbound. Tim Floyd wants to get Lauren Meyer back in before the Cyclones inbound the ball, and he'll take the place of James Hamilton.
Replacing James Hamilton.
And Iowa with the 8 steals.
Hawkeyes averaging a Big Ten best, almost 17 steals a game. Mikulik with 2 on the shot clock. 12 for Mikulik. 23-20 Iowa.
Yulo getting a little caress kiss.
Bowen backs Meyer down. Murray spins, leaves it short. Bowen crashes the board, stolen by Kimbrough. 3-on-2, Cyclone break. Don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, bad decision by the point guard. That's where Iowa State has had to do it by committee. They can't find one to take it over.
Kingsbury, quite a street shooter. The last 2 games had not shot the 3 well. Today he's on fire at three-point range.
Well, shooters will do that. We've said it time and time again. What you want to do is elevate and have a shooter when he has a bad night, have a fairly good night. But he has struggled the last 2 games. Now he's back doing what he did against Drake.
And an official's timeout as Davis and Hightower confer. We'll be right back after this message from your local station. This is the Raycom Network.
Overall, it's the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. A line of trucks built by people who look at things a little differently. From the company that puts an airbag in every single one. A line of trucks that from one end to the other simply refuses to follow the rules. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
For the simple reason that kids will be kids. There's Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Iowa. We cover more children and the people who love them than any other.
You just can't beat the
We share a common vision of a new frontier in farming. A time and place where there will be new ways to produce more corn from the land while doing less to the land. That time is now. That place is here. Welcome to the New Frontier. New Frontier herbicide. Best against grass. Best for the land.
It's the Hawkeyes 26, the Cyclones 20.
As you watch the ball go to the corner, look at the top of the screen. The Iowa bench, you see the gray team members right there. They know the play. They know what they want to try and do. They're helping coach in that situation for the double team. Here, point guard play, out of control. Once you leave your feet, bad things usually happen. You got to make the choice while your feet are on the ground, on the floor.
And that was a 3-on-2 opportunity for Iowa State they couldn't convert on. Hoiberg, to inbound. He teams with Mikalik. Also Beecham. Holloway's come back into the timeout, and Lauren Meyer is in. Carter, Kingsbury, Murray, Woolridge, and Bartles on the floor for Iowa. Cyclones held to 20 points through the first 17 minutes. This is an Iowa State team hitting 53% of their shots from the field. They're not today, Mac. You got to credit Iowa defense.
Yeah, but it's a great shooting team. They are going to put up a lot of points. 53%. All field goal percentage, as you said, almost 50% now threes and 80% from the free throw line.
Kingsbury has had the hot hand, not this time, and Hoiberg momentarily has the rebound. Meyer helps it. Hoiberg got hit in the face, and he is slow to join the Cyclone offense. As Mikalik straightens the nets out, 14 for Julius Mikalik.
And the Hawkeyes are having trouble matching up with him. But Julio's always started very well in December and January. Historically, he's had some problems late season, being able to put up some numbers for the Cyclones.
Just over 2 minutes remain in the first half. Both teams have had to work on every possession today. With the foul, the point guard, J.C. Holloway. Let's take a look at a Northwest Bank quick stat.
Mikalik is the total statistic when you look at Iowa State, 7 of 11. Iowa, the turnover advantage, but shooting a rather frigid 30% from the field. That's the defense of Coach Floyd.
Hawkeyes a 50% shooting team on the season. As we mentioned, the Cyclones in 6 games, 53%. Push-off spotted inside as Bartles attempts his drive.
That was on the drive, so it will not be a shot opportunity. Now you watch the Iowa State coaching staff really be aware of what Iowa wants to do. Try and jam up the middle.
15 foul on Iowa State as Beecham got that one. It was his first. Iowa has committed 16 fouls. Bowen to the hole. 2 baskets for Ryan Bowen, and Iowa stretches the lead back to 6.
Rather amazing. They stayed 3 steps off Ryan Bowen, and his quickness still got him by Lorenmeyer to the basket.
They take a while for opponents to realize just how quick that freshman is. Very quick feet for a big guy. Hoiberg flashes across the lane, and it's fouled. Settles on the push. It is his second foul. Jess Settles hurt his hip against Northern Iowa on Wednesday night. His back has really bothered him all season long. He's been held to 2 points on a slam at the end of a fast break, so having a tough time maybe getting into the framework of the offense.
Certainly a hip and a back. Not a good situation for a healthy or a normal person, let alone a basketball player that needs to use that area to run and jump the entire game.
Hoiberg looks for his 5th point. A nightmarish last visit to Carver Hawkeye Arena for Fred Hoiberg. He was held without a field goal. Glasper has run this team well off the bench in a point situation. 18 assists to 7 turnovers his ratio so far. Open, Bowen. Bartles, good job recognizing that. And it will be Iowa State ball.
Ryan Bowen usually takes that right to the glass, uses his quickness and finesse. Left that one just a little short.
Final minute, first half, low-scoring game. Nobody's hit 30 yet.
Maybe 2 feet short.
Beecham, a sweet outside shooter.
He's a very good shooter. He can really streak it when he gets it going.
6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And as Settles tries to make something happen, he is fouled by Julius Mikulik, and that will be his 2nd foul, or make it his 1st foul.
Mikulik, his 1st. Team foul number 6 on the second.
And as you look, shot clock is off. 27.5 seconds left to go in this first half. Iowa will look, I would imagine, to try and do a quick score. If they can't, then they'll control it till the clock gets under 7 or 8 seconds.
Carter replacing Settles, steal by Beecham. Glasper comes back up with it. Here is Bartles.
That was a little quick for a 3-pointer.
And still plenty of time in the half for the Cyclones to get into their offense and to take the lead as they trail by 1 as they play for the last shot of the first half.
That's a walk.
2.5 seconds.
Good defense. Holloway gave up the open shot, tried to get it to another play. It's nice to identify who your shooters are, but at the same time, you have to become an offensive threat yourself.
Kimbrough replacing Holloway in the final 2.5 seconds, and Iowa wants their shooter in there. Kingsbury, their leading scorer so far this game with 3 threes, so Tom Davis wants him in this situation with 2.5 seconds to play. Nothing about Kingsbury. If Iowa can get him the ball, he's a good free throw shooter. So 2 reasons you want him in now. Beecham, desperation for the lead over the backboard. And it is a 1-point game at the half of this battle between arch rivals Iowa and Iowa State. Halftime score, Iowa 28, Iowa State 27. And we'll return to Carver Hawkeye Arena in a moment.
It might surprise
and a great reception to break down that pressure. Both teams very quick athletes, so as you throw those back door passes, you get reaction, takes that away too, makes it very difficult to score. You're going to see, I think, more dribble penetration.
If the point total didn't tell you it was a low-scoring game, then the statistics certainly would. Neither team shooting up to their season norms.
Well, Iowa State 48, certainly very respectable. You wouldn't mind doing that all year. You'd like maybe a little higher. But Iowa 31, extremely cold. But the key for Iowa is to get to the free throw line. They've only done it 4 times. 3-point shooting, it's all been Kingsbury. And then rebounds, Iowa on the short end there. But turnovers, when you certainly look at that, there's been a lot by Iowa State.
Individual scoring totals, Mikulik you expect up there. He's been hot. Hoiberg, but with lower than his norm. And for Iowa, you don't see Jess Settles' name up there. That's always a headline.
Kingsbury and Bartles. I really think you're going to look. Hoiberg and Settles neither of them had a great first half. Whichever one has the better second half, I think they can take their team to a win.
Also, Iowa 9 steals and Iowa State 1, but the Hawkeyes, because they're not shooting well, haven't taken advantage of them.
No, they really haven't. And of course, again, you go back to some of the things we've discussed. Transition defense by both teams has cut down opportunities, easy opportunities. So I think in this half, you're going to see some adjustments, but not a lot at the defensive end. It's the offensive mentality that's going to have to change to see which team can put up 30 points a half.
Second half should be outstanding. We'll take a look at first half highlights and be back with the second half in just a moment. Again, our halftime score, Iowa 28, Iowa State 27.
Cool.
Now remember what you learned in Hunter education.
This father isn't taking chances with safety. He's making sure his children know how to hunt safely. Knowing when it's safe to shoot.
Safety on.
Avoiding areas where people live.
That's my girl. You have to stay alert. Know where everyone is at all times.
Because hunting safety isn't inherited. You have to teach it.
Okay.
For more information on hunter education in Iowa, call 515-281-5145.
Pressure. The game is up in the air. There's always one person that you try to keep control. When my players see this sign, they know we're running to win. This means we're going down inside to the post. If we need one shot, last shot, they're going to see a one-up. When we need poise, we bring it right down. If you're out there having a couple of drafts with a couple of friends, I got a sign for you right now. Right here. Use your head. Think when you drink.
It's March Madness on the mat, and you're invited to get a grip on the best seats in the house. Tickets are available now for the 1995 NCAA Division I Wrestling Championship, coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena at the University of Iowa, March 16th through 18th. For ticket information, call 319-335-9323. That's 319-335-9323.
It's Iowa 28, Iowa State 27. We take a look at first half highlights. Lauren Meyer was dominant defensively inside early in this ballgame.
There are a lot of highlights if you love defense. And certainly there's one of them, a double team. Kenyon Murray can't go anywhere. And then Meyer does a tremendous job with the timing. And here, inside people for Iowa State, but unable to go attack the ball. Kingsbury comes over Hoiberg's back with a nice touch pass. Easy basket opportunity. Now Bowen looks, sets, and takes 3 steps and still slides by Meyer. The quickness of Bowen to the basket.
Meyer with 3 blocks in the first half for Iowa State. So the Cyclones, you see Clay Edwards at the right of your screen. He is not dressed for the ball game today. He sprained his back in practice on Monday. Of course, the former high school teammate of Jess Settles, so he is not dressed for today's game. Lauren Meyer with those 3 blocks, big factor early for Iowa State.
And you really look at Clay Edwards. It's interesting if you look at the freshman group and the senior group of both teams. On the freshman groups, you have Ryan Bowen and Kemp McCausland, along with Rafe LaFrance that played with Clay Edwards on the state championship AAU team. And the senior group, you look up Millard, Hoiberg, Meyer, and Beecham. They all play together. So Iowa talent certainly is growing.
Iowa's biggest lead in the first half was 6. Iowa State's was 5. Starters in for both teams as the second half begins, and Bowen tries to get the scoring started for the Hawkeyes. Derek Hayes comes up with it for Iowa State.
And right away, Iowa tried to get Jess Settles involved in the offense. He had 2 opportunities, and you don't see him stripped very often, especially by a guard.
Hayes, Hoiberg, Holloway, Meyer, and Mikulik on the floor for Iowa State. Murray, Bartles, Settles, Woolridge, and Bowen on the floor for Iowa. Mikulik guarded by Settles.
I tell you, Larry, I really enjoy watching great defense, and that's what you're seeing. Iowa trying to take away passing lanes, take away the good offensive players. You let the guys that have historically shown you they are not the better offensive players. They have the ball more often.
7 seconds to shoot. Meyer did a good job getting open, couldn't finish. And Settles goes into the 4th row of the bleachers to save it. Bartles. And this is the tone we saw in the first half. Defensive struggle. A minute and a half played in the second half. Nobody scored yet.
Well, you don't get many good open looks against a Tim Floyd team. Bartles needs to get that kind of shot down. He won't see many more that wide open.
Holloway finds Mikulik, who got caught on a shorter man and put it through. Cyclones taking advantage of the mismatch, and Mikulik's got 16.
Well, everybody is shorter on the court. And Woolridge trying to make a drive penetration. Holloway gets called. Iowa State coaches say it was a push off of Woolridge, but no dice.
To number 10.
And for Holloway, it's foul number 3 on the inbounds. Ryan Bowen with the first 2 in the second half for the Hawkeyes. And Iowa regains the lead at 30-29. 4 ties in that first half.
Iowa looking to try and do a little trap. Half court. Back to straight man-to-man.
He's trying to penetrate. Bartles knocks it away, and Bowen steals it. Woolridge. And Meyer secures the rebound for Iowa State. Meyer with his 10th rebound of the ball game. He was a monster on the boards in the first half for Iowa State, pulling down 9, most of them at the defensive end.
And that could be a sign of things to come for the Iowa Hawkeyes. We indicated Meyer, a wide body, 6'10" or 11, something the Hawkeyes have not seen in an athletic post player in any of their other games.
Hayes gives the Cyclones the lead back. It is seesawed back and forth. 3 lead changes in the first 3 possessions, or first 3 scores of this second half.
And again, no respect for Ryan Bowen's outside shooting. He's got to take it into the basket area.
Murray trying to shake Hayes, and Hayes comes up with a big steal. Cyclones a 1-point lead in the ball. Glasper and Kingsbury getting ready to come in for Iowa. So is Skillett.
Kenyon Murray struggled in that first half, made his first shot, then missed his next 6.
Hoiberg and Settles with a rebound. 4th rebound. Settles. Underneath, nice look to Bartles. Settles made a big-time play, and Iowa regains the lead.
The strength of Jeff Settles made that play one that he could complete.
Mikulik. Hoiberg with an offensive rebound.
Yeah, Hoiberg was trying to retreat and get out of there. All of a sudden, he just caught the ball out of the corner of his eye, came back to it. Iowa players a little flat-footed.
That's the thing with the long shots, though, the long rebounds. Here's Meyer.
The Iowa student section said travel. They thought Meyer hopped when he received the ball.
That's his first basket and his 5th point. 5 lead changes early in the second half. Bartles got Hoiberg into the air, missed the shot. Meyer with his 11th rebound. The Hawkeyes are covering him well. Hayes open. 2 baskets for Derek Hayes in the early going in the second half. 3 for the game. Almost 5 minutes played in the second half, and it's Iowa State by 3. Mikulik with the steal.
The long arms of Mikulik able to reach around Jeff Settles.
Tim Floyd has asked more of Julius Mikulik at the defensive end of the floor, and he's getting that today. Hoiberg, beautiful shot. Not that he wasn't guarded, but he put it down anyway, and the Cyclones lead by 6, their biggest advantage. Hawkeyes really need to get 2 here, and Settles cannot do it. Iowa State's defense forcing the Hawkeyes to below 40% field goal shooting in the first half, and it has continued in the second half. A dozen rebounds for Lauren Meyer. He's the biggest guy on the floor, Mac, and he's taking advantage of it.
He certainly is. And you have had a lot of more bumping in this game with chest, body position. Just like that call.
Bowen tried to get over and get his feet down. Couldn't do it. His first foul. Tim Floyd has long since shed his sport coat, and he is really active on the Cyclone sideline. 13:55 left in regulation. Iowa State enjoys their biggest lead. Cyclones 38, Hawkeyes 32.
Gillette introduces the next revolution in shaving closeness. Microfins. And they're only on the new Sensor XL. These microfins precede the blades. As Sensor XL's spring-mounted blades adjust to your face, these soft, flexible fins gently stretch your skin, so your beard stands up for the closest, most comfortable shave. Get closer than ever before. Get the new Gillette Sensor XL.
If someone said they wanted a car that was as quiet as a Mercedes, yet as practical as an Accord, that handled as well as a BMW, but was as economical as a Nissan Altima, and that somebody said they wanted all of this in one car, you'd say they had their head in the clouds. And you'd be right. Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Christmas shopping can be stressful.
Try it when you're 8.
But at your local True Value, we make it easy. Even for a kid. With lots of great gifts.
And at prices that won't break the old piggy bank.
Like this 43-piece quarter-inch tool kit for just $8.77. Or this 20-inch toolbox with lift-out tray just $6.99.
And parking, it's a piece of cake.
True Value. Gifts are just around the corner.
They've had to work a tough physical ball game. Cyclones lead the Hawkeyes 38-32. A lot of holiday shopping being done. Here's a great place to buy all kinds of holiday gifts. The Iowa Hawk Shop here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Of course, it's open all day long, and they've got a special. If you buy that official all sports calendar, a lot of coupons in there. Great savings at the Hawk Shop. Save a lot of money all year long. Check out the Iowa Hawk Shop for all the information. Lauren Meyer will sit out for a while. He's in double figures, a dozen rebounds, is scoring 5 points. He's also got 3 blocks. Jess Settles will open this segment on the bench for the Hawkeyes.
Iowa State does a good job of really distributing their free throws. They have got 4 players that have shot 25 or more free throws. So you've got a lot of people with dribble penetration or strong post-up moves.
Derek Hayes on the all Big 8 freshman team a year ago has 7. 5 of them have come in this half. And the Cyclones build the lead to 8 at 40-32.
With this group, you would certainly expect Bartles or Kingsbury to give you your offense.
Bowen got the position on Mikalik that time. And Mikalik trying to take it away. Committed the foul. Second foul on Julius Mikalik.
And he had his right hand on the back of Brian Bowen. Looked like he did get up to the ball with the long arms. And Bowen, where he struggled a little bit at the free throw line.
The Cyclones are on a rally. They have scored 9 unanswered points.
And Iowa just one of their last 6. Bowen now on the year, 4 of 11 from the free throw line.
And in the ball game, the Hawks are 3 of 5, while the Cyclones have hit 7 of 8. That ends the 9-point Iowa State run. Bowen's got 7.
And the thing that Iowa can do well is whip the pressure, but you can't set the pressure very well until you make a basket. So the cold shooting leads to difficulty of setting the press.
Nearly a 3-minute basket drought for the Hawkeyes.
And now Iowa goes zone. Again, sagging off Holloway. Skillett says, we'll let you take it. And it gets Skillett even staying off Hayes.
Shot clock winding down. Hayes has had the hot hand. He still does.
Hayes can shoot the 2-pointer. Dribbling in. Good penetration.
That's 8.5 and 10 in the game for Derek Hayes. Exactly 13 to play.
Again, Ryan Bowen.
And a foul called on Hamilton as he pushed off on Montere Glassberg. First foul on James Hamilton.
Tim Floyd has said we will not guard Ryan Bowen on the perimeter. We will drop in, jam the middle, make him drive to us.
Jess settles back in. It's obvious Jess not at 100% physically, with the back and the hip both hurting him. He gets the feed. As he tries to go up, he is fouled by Hamilton. So Hamilton with 2 fouls in about 10 seconds. And with 12:53 to play, and Iowa State leading Iowa 42-33, Jess Settles will go to the free throw line for the first time.
And Iowa
Meyer
State,
back in.
Iowa State 4 fouls in this half, while Iowa just 1. That is more traditional, what you would expect out of the Hawkeyes.
You mentioned both these teams getting to the foul line. In both team cases, they have hit more free throws than opponents have attempted by a wide margin.
Anytime you get to the line 20 or more times a game, you're really adding to your offense. And of course, that allows you also then to set up better defenses because you have time to get back and set, whether it's full court or half court.
Hayes beats the Iowa pressure. Iowa State has made some good decisions on offense, especially in this half, Mac.
Well, and now they're in front of their own bench, so Coach Floyd can talk to them.
And Hoiberg has hit 5 in this half and 10 in the ballgame. He's in double figures for the 35th consecutive game.
And Coach Davis couldn't believe that was a 3. The official in front of it did not call it. It was the official on the far side.
Skillett called for the palm.
Now for the Hawkeyes, it becomes defensive time. They have to find ways to stop Iowa State because they've struggled mightily at the offensive end.
Like Iowa does not have a basket in 4 minutes, from 16:09 to now at 12 minutes. The only Iowa points have been at the free throw line. The Cyclones have built the lead to 10.
And the Cyclones have done it on 5 of 5 shooting. They have not missed during this stretch.
Holloway thought he spotted Meyer open. He didn't. Woolridge is a 4-minute plus basket drop for Iowa.
You know, 7th graders, 8th graders wonder why you do that 2-man pass routine as a drill, because you can do it in a game if you get out on a break. You just cannot mishandle it. Defender has no chance to stop it.
J.C. Holloway out of McPherson, Kansas, trying to set up the Iowa State offense.
Tom Davis looks at the zone and says, we're going to try and stop the 3 offensive players with 5 defensive players.
In the middle, it's the hottest Cyclone so far. Here's the other guy who's hot. Those 2 have been brilliant in this half. Hoiberg is third 3 of this half. You don't hold Fred Hoiberg down forever.
We talked at halftime of Settles and Hoiberg matchup. Both of them did not have a good first half. The one that can get the job done the second half, of course, Settles hurt with the hip.
With the basket by Woolridge, the Hawkeyes can set up their pressure, but again, Iowa State, good job of beating it to the hole. Hayes, and the rebound by Woolridge.
Woolridge has to look out, a trailer from behind.
Mikalik using his height advantage over Murray. Mikalik 6'10", Murray 6'5". Ten minutes, 18 seconds to go. Iowa State 48, Iowa 39. Hawkeyes, a new experience. First time they've trailed in the second half of a game this year. Bartles behind the screen by Kingsbury. And Murray and Holloway bang together. Holloway brings it ahead for the Cyclones.
Jim Bartles held the ball and reloaded to shoot it. When players do that, they just don't have the confidence to shot. You got to catch and stick when you're a shooter.
In the middle, Meyer asked for the ball, got it. Good job at the point guard to find the big man.
A defensive breakdown, not stepping in with a postman flashing into the lane.
Kingsbury over Hayes. Doesn't get the roll, was fouled. First foul on Derek Hayes. 9:21 left in this battle between Iowa and Iowa State. The Cyclones a big second half, and they have opened an 11-point lead as Kingsbury will go to the line and Hayes will go to the bench. And what a job he's done for Iowa State in the second half. He has 8 second-half points.
He's done a good job with a good choice, and he's taken it off the dribble. He's done dribble penetration, but stop at about the 12 to 15-foot area and get a good look at the basket.
Kingsbury, a dependable free throw shooter for the Hawkeyes. Last year, better than 80%. Tim Floyd has seen his team surge from a 1-point deficit to as many as a 12-point lead. And now it's down to 9 as Kingsbury drains them both. 9:21 left in regulation. It is Iowa State 50, Iowa 41. We'll be back after this message from your local station. This is the Raycom Network.
We share a common vision of a new frontier in farming. A time and place where there will be new ways to produce more corn from the land while doing less to the land. That time is now. That place is here. Welcome to the new frontier. New Frontier herbicide. Best against grass. Best for the land.
Hello, I'm Grant Bell. For any heating or cooling need you have, call Bell Brothers. If it's a service problem, one of our 16 service trucks will soon be at your door. If a new system is needed, one of our professional sales staff will work with you to determine what is best for your home and individual lifestyle. Today, new technology has given us Comfort Maker high-efficient heat pumps that air condition your home on hot days and keep you warm on cool days. For the very best heating cooling system, remember 2 names, Bell Brothers and Comfort Maker.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Here's a look at the Northwest Bank quick stat.
You see the score today, 50-41, averages up there at 86, 99. But why? You look at Iowa State right at their percentage, and why are they leading by 9 points? Iowa just 31%.
Hoiberg, long lob to Meyer, taken down by Ryan Bowen.
And the Iowa State bench cannot believe Ryan Bowen wasn't called for a foul with the collision. They're saying it tipped off Lauren Meyer.
He may not have been called for the foul, but Dan Gable, who was our halftime guest, admired the takedown. And Hightower explaining it to Tim Floyd. And Hightower, of course, worked the championship game in the NCAA tournament last spring. One of the nation's most respected officials. Glasper, Skillett, Bowen, Kingsbury, and Settles on the floor for Iowa.
And the Hawkeye fans want to see something started here. They're getting a little impatient.
Kingsbury works against Hurl Beecham, and Meyer helps out and comes up with his 4th block. Boy, Lauren Meyer has been a huge factor for Iowa State today.
Iowa State has done a great job of funneling the offensive player towards Meyer. And he has stayed down till he had to make the play. And a bump from Settles. I believe that'll be number 3 on just Settles.
It will. Settles with his 3rd foul, the first Hawkeye with more than 2 for the Cyclones. Holloway, the only player with more than 2. He's got 3. Remember, Christmas just around the corner. Still an opportunity for you to sign up favorite young man in your life for the Iowa basketball camp. By the way, that number now is Iowa, and that's Iowa IA Hoops. That's an easy way to remember that. And by the way, if you want a certificate to be able to send for a camp scholarship, be sure to contact the Iowa basketball office by December the 16th.
Brian Bowen's got to be careful. He must block out Mikulak, who is taller. He must really get a body onto him if there's a missed free throw.
Meyer knocks them both in. He has 11, 8 in this half, and it is a 11-point Cyclone lead, equaling their biggest. Iowa State has come over here 23 times. They've only won twice. Settles trying to make something happen. Meyer called for the foul, his 2nd. Iowa State's only victories in Iowa City. In 1984, they won here 54-40, and in 1921, they won 20-16. Tim Floyd trying to get a new tradition started here for Iowa State and looking to break that. Tim Floyd, whose dad was a longtime coach at Southern Mississippi, the late Lee Floyd, 14 years the head basketball coach down there.
I'd really have to say Jess Settle's hip and back is bothering. One reason is he's not taking the outside three. As a shooter, you really have to extend your arms high when you're going to shoot that three-point. He's looking to drive it inside and try and power it. Difficult for him to raise those arms.
And yet he wants to be out there despite the fact that he is really banged up. Hawkeyes have a week off, and maybe there's no Hawkeye that can use it more than Settles. Cyclones have a week and a day off before they play again, trying to concentrate on the semester finals. Ronter Glasper committing the foul, and for Glasper, it is his first. Team fouls now, 6 against Iowa State, 3 against Iowa.
Team foul number 3.
Interesting, you see the officials moving around. You see Eddie Hightower at the bottom of the screen. This year they've given the officials more freedom. They used to have a stationary point to watch the game. As you watch Settles deflecting that ball. So now the officials try and move opposite the ball movement. In other words, the ball moves to one corner, they move away from it to get a better angle to watch the play.
Kimbrough in at the point. Mikalik, Hoiberg, Beecham, and Meyer make up the rest of the Cyclone lineup. Beecham open, he's dangerous from there. Now it's a 13-point Cyclone lead.
It's getting difficult time for Iowa. You normally say 13 points is not a lot for Iowa, but since they can't score, they can't set up pressure. And Iowa State, a tremendous defensive team, has made it very difficult for the Hawkeyes to score.
It will be Iowa basketball. Players from both teams talked about who would be the underdog, who would be the favorite in this game. Bear in mind, a lot of people think the Cyclones can win the Big 8 championship. Hawkeyes picked lower division of the Big 10. We've got 7:51 left in regulation. The Cyclones have their biggest lead at 55-42.
Hey! What? We got all these extra value meals, and they just gave us one price.
At McDonald's, just $2.99 gets you your choice of 4 delicious extra value meals every day.
What do you think?
Oh, that looks good. Do that.
What?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Free meal, what a deal. Check your newspaper for a valued customer card or ask for one at your nearest McDonald's. Complete your card and your next extra value meal is free.
Remember what you learned in Hunter Education?
This father isn't taking chances with safety. He's making sure his children know how to hunt safely. Knowing when it's safe to shoot.
Safety on.
Avoiding areas where people live.
That's my girl. You have to stay alert. Know where everyone is at all times.
Because hunting safety isn't inherited. You have to teach it.
Okay.
For more information on hunter education in Iowa, call 515-281-5145.
Where children grow and people know what matters. Here in Iowa, we bring the best together. Proud to be here. Pleased to serve. Proud to be here. Pleased to serve. Northwest Bank.
It's the Cyclones by 13. Mac, if you watch a lot of Iowa basketball, you're going to see a shot that you don't normally recognize as being a part of the Iowa offense. What is the meaning of this?
Well, Jess Settles driving across, takes an off-balance shot. But you look, as he's driving across, you see 4 Iowa State players. He cannot get to the basket. When he can't get to the basket, you're going to take some of those type of shots. Again, great credit to Iowa State's defense. Iowa having a hard time running their half-court offense.
Meyer with another block, and then after Beecham recovered, he got hit in the eye, and so he has to shake that off. Fred Hoiberg, 9th in career scoring for Iowa State, inbounds to Kimbrough. 7:40 to left. Time becomes a factor. Boy, the field goal percentage in this game and in this half really tells the story. That's why Iowa State's been able to open the lead that they have.
Enough said. Iowa 31 and 27. While Iowa State kicks it up to 63 in the second half.
The takeaway by Kenyon Murray. And the Hawkeye fans are hoping that something dramatic like that can ignite Iowa.
And I'll tell you right now, Coach Floyd wants timeout, and none of the Cyclone players see it. He wants to get his other point guard back in this game. Kimbrough,
now he's changed his
not
mind.
happy with it. Hawkeye fans say we need to stop. We can't have another three.
And they got one. Iowa State got another three. Iowa State coming back with a big defensive play to answer the jam by Murray. And so they get the momentum right back. Settles on the follow.
And that's the attack of the boards. Bartles, Murray, Settles, all three on the glass. Just hammering, getting that put back. But Iowa cannot trade 2 for 3 when you're down in double digits.
It's Iowa State with a 12-point lead. 6:14 to go. Meyer gets fouled by Woolridge. Woolridge, second foul. Lauren Meyer has done it all for Iowa State today. And as you mentioned, the Cyclones are really taking advantage of his size.
Well, Woolridge thought he had stopped this. He came across, hacked on the arms. As Meyer goes across, good hack, and then Meyer still with the athletic ability releases it. Got to strip the ball if you can in that case, not even let him get the shot off. Woolridge thought he had it stopped. Meyer, the strength to finish.
Meyer, 6'10", 257 pounds. Missed the second half of last year, but boy, he's really making up for it with the rehabilitation over the summer and the hard work that he's put forth so far this season.
And that is a different type of three-pointer, the old style, 2 and 1.
And it's given Iowa State a lead of 15. The three-point shooting, another story. The shooting, always a story, and the three-point factor really helping Iowa State. Kingsbury tries to get a three, got it.
Now the pressure.
All the threes for the Hawkeyes, all 4 of them.
And Hoiberg has to take the timeout. Smart play.
It comes with 5 minutes and 46 seconds to play. The Cyclones on top. And we'll be right back after this message from your local station. This is the Raycom Network.
It had to be you. It invented the standards for how a minivan should ride and drive. It exceeds 1998 car safety standards. It gives you more choices than any other minivan. Dodge Caravan, the best-selling minivan of all time. Millions of people wouldn't know what to do without it, but they sure know what to do with it. It had to be you, a wonderful you. It had to be you.
We wanted you to appreciate the bold taste of cold-filtered Pabst Genuine Draft and bright, refreshing Pabst Light. So we made the first ever scratch and sniff commercial. We figure if you scratch the box and experience the aroma, you'll hear us when we say, if you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? But we didn't find out until after we shot the film that technology hasn't yet made this possible. Sorry. We hope you'll try Pabst Genuine Draft and Pabst Light anyway. Thanks.
It's lunchtime in America, and all across this great land, that half-hour time clock is ticking. So consider the lunch buffet at your neighborhood Pizza Hut, where the minute you walk through the door, you can load up on all the freshly made pizza, salad, and pasta you can eat for just $3.99, and then actually sit down and enjoy your lunch.
Back from lunch? Grossman?
Instead of bringing it back to work with you.
This afternoon, we're watching an outstanding defensive ball game, and the Cyclones have really taken over here in the second half.
Well, the nowadays becoming critical time for Iowa to score to get the pressure, take the ball into the basket, see if they can draw some more fouls and get to the line.
Meyer has really been a key factor for Iowa State. Bartles fouling Hamilton. Had little choice there, was give up the easy 2 or make the contact.
And Coach Davis can't believe could not get a call at the other end. Bartles a good job at the defensive end.
Show you what Iowa State's trying to accomplish today. In 58 non-conference home games, only 2 teams have come in here and beat Tom Davis coach teams. Arizona and Duke. So the Cyclones are trying to join some very select company.
And a good foul, as they say. No points out of it.
5.5 left to play. If the Hawkeyes are going to get back in it, they've got to start here.
But they need not rush the ball. You have to be imbalanced, get a good look at the basket. Again, look to see if some penetration.
Just not going down for Iowa this afternoon. Combination of Cyclone defense, and the Hawkeyes have missed some open shots as well. Iowa coming in averaging 99.8, hitting 50% of their shots from the field. Today below 40, and so far not to 50 points.
Well, a difficult matchup now is Bartles on Meyer. Height is okay, but 50 pounds difference.
Beecham has been hot from the perimeter. Count the basket, and a foul is called as well. O'Hurl Beecham has thrown in 8 points in the second half, Mac, and from the perimeter, he's been virtually unstoppable.
He gets a great look at the basket. He's got a great stroke. As we talk, these people played together. When you look at Meyer, Hoiberg, Beecham, since really their senior year in high school and AAU teams, and then on to college. Good drive, open look. Iowa player doesn't pick him up and flash right away.
Settles to the bench with 4 fouls, with 4:44 remaining. But Tom Davis in a quandary. Needs Settles in, can't afford to have him in now. Beecham with a season high of 8 against Purdue prior to today's 11, now 12-point performance. His career high, 25 last year against Oklahoma State, but he fired almost school record 7 threes.
Again, Carter, they will let him go outside. I was going to have to try and break it down with dribble penetration.
Like that. And Meyer, yet another Iowa State rebound.
He's been huge. Absolute huge.
13
Not in
rebounds.
stature, but in his play.
4 block shots and 13 points. The line for Lauren Meyer.
Well, you can always talk about offense. You like to put up offensive points because the fans like it. But as most coaches will tell you, and those that have been there that have been big winners, defense gets you championships. Defense will get you big wins.
What did Tim Floyd tell us today? He said he's not losing sleep over his offense. He's been losing sleep over his defense.
That's right. He's putting up enough points. There's no question about that. Doing a good job there. But when you go on the road, that is the critical area of how to win on the road, and you win it with defense on the road. You stop the other team because it is awfully hard to outscore other teams.
And of course, this is the Cyclones' first road test. Tom Davis trying to get Andre Woolridge to get that offense going as Murray steps to the free throw line, averaging 13, third best on the team. But as you see today, he is way under that.
And every point Iowa can find on the court now becomes critical.
17 fouls have been called against the Cyclones, 6 against the Hawkeyes. It's a 13-point Iowa State lead with 3:43 to go. Hoiberg inbound. The teams with Hamilton, Beecham, Holloway, and Meyer. Iowa pressure, but the Cyclones find the open player.
Tell you what I really like about Iowa State. When the big guys have gotten a hold of the ball, they have held it and given it up to a guard. They have not tried to make any type of penetration against the Iowa pressure. They have found a ball handler.
Cyclones trying to go to 6-1. Their only loss, a 2-pointer to Purdue and Hawaii. The Hawkeyes trying to remain undefeated. They have to rally from 13 down. Beecham fouled by Kingsbury. Kingsbury's third foul. You see the Cyclone bench is asking for an intentional foul, but not going to get it.
They were trying to get it, but Kingsbury honestly was trying to catch up, and I think their feet collided, They just tapped each other and both lost their balance. Kingsbury, as he reaches out, I think he'll catch the heel right there, trying to get around Earl Beecham and get the foul. Got it a different way.
Kingsbury with 3 fouls. Settles playing with 4. Iowa State has no player with more than 3. Beecham has come big for Iowa State, 13 points, 10 of them in the second half.
He hasn't shot a lot of free throws, but he's a 90% free throw shooter on the year.
$14 and a season high for Beecham. Woolridge, good look to Settles, who draws lots of red shirts and will go to the free throw line. Boy, he wanted 2, though. You saw his reaction. Meyer on the foul, his 3rd. So now Meyer with 3, Hamilton with 3, Holloway with 3.
Thought he would deflate the ball by the pounding on that one. Settles, disgusted with himself.
Settles coming in 109 points in 116 minutes, but today held the 7.
Well, he told us before the game that his hip was not good. He just didn't know how much it would bother him in gameplay. And a lot of the Iowa fans think this game's over as they start to leave.
It's a 13-point Cyclone lead as Mikuli, who was hot early and got 14 and has scored only 2 in the second half, comes back in. And Hamilton will lead. Lauren Meyer playing guard as he took it to the hole and he got fouled. Murray with his 2nd. And Tim Floyd's team has come in, put up a terrific second half effort after trailing by as many as 6 most of the first half. And now they lead by 13 with just 2:44 remaining. And if you had to point to one star for Iowa State, the guy on the free throw line would be a pretty good choice.
Yeah, he's certainly done it in both halves. We've seen other players from both teams do it one half. This guy's done it from the opening bell to 2:44 left to go. You look at the Iowa State team, Larry, you got to say the posters and maybe the coaches in the league honestly knew what was lying there, because this team can contend for the Big 8 championship. Tim Floyd has a ways to go, as he said, at the defensive end of the court, but they're getting the message. They are stopping people, and they're doing it on the road against a good Iowa offensive team.
Talk about that great senior core for Iowa State. You don't think it means something to them to play the Hawkeyes for the last time? Especially after they came over here 2 years ago and played not well at all.
Kingsbury really had a chance to shoot it, gave it up. Iowa needs to find points, a lot of them, and quickly.
Both these teams received votes for the top 25 last week. You get the feeling the winner might make it into the top 25 this time. Holloway on the steal. And a terrific defensive effort by Monteer Glassberg. Settles has it touched by Hamilton.
Well, I believe it was a jump pass for Bowen. And that couldn't be completed. Just absolutely nothing going right. And a lot of it, and now the paper airplane comes on the floor. And I will tell you now, they're going to have a problem. They are going to have to ask the crowd, if anything else comes on, the Iowa crowd may get a technical.
That's just not smart. 2:02 on the clock, 68-53 Iowa State. Early in the second half, the game seesawed back and forth. 5 lead changes in the first 4 minutes. Then the Hawkeyes went on a 4-minute stretch where they did not score a basket. That's when Iowa State took control, and they have held on. Glasper out, Woolridge in. Next action for the Hawkeyes a week from today against Long Island. Still some tickets available for that game, and the one to follow the following Tuesday against Western Carolina. Then that's it if you want to see the Hawkeyes in person at Carver Hawkeye Arena, because all the Big Ten games at home are a sellout. We got a timeout with 2:02 to play. It's Iowa State 68, Iowa 53.
It might surprise you that a lot of folks do their holiday shopping at True Value. You see, we've got just what you need to wrap up a happy holiday. Still, some people just can't wait to get to those big discount stores. And wait. And wait. Well, now at True Value, this Rubbermaid bird feeder is just $7.77, and this True Tone telephone is just $9.97. So, why wait? True Value. Gifts are just around the corner.
With 132 frisky horses under its hood, the four-door Plymouth Neon is one pretty fast car. In fact, it's so fast, it just blew two of its own doors off. Say hello to the brand spanking new Plymouth Neon Sport Coupe. Performance suspension, ABS, and a cool new look.
The Cyclones have won only twice in Iowa City in 23 tries. They've got a 15-point lead with 2:02 remaining. A one-point game at the half, but Iowa State took advantage of a 4-minute stretch where the Hawkeyes did not get a basket to take command here in the second half.
Well, certainly part of that has been, as you look at the Cyclone bench, their defense. The other part has been Jess Settles just not being able to maneuver with the injured hip as you look at Coach Tim Floyd.
For the fans, this game is huge. For the coaches, Tim Floyd says maybe a different feel to it.
Well, yeah, the fans feel a sense of urgency about any interstate game. But he said, Tom Davis and I feel that every game. He says it's kind of nice to have the fans have that same upset stomach feeling too. And he's absolutely right. That's why you have upsets. If you don't prepare your team game after game the same way, all of a sudden what you're going to have is somebody beat you that shouldn't beat you. Now Iowa has to decide if they're going to foul and try and get back in the game in the last 2 minutes or not. Looks like they've conceded the game and just going to try and score and make a defensive steal.
Mika Leak, 18 points, just comes down with a rebound. Cyclones have had plenty of stars today. Meyer, Mika Leak really set the pace early and almost single-handedly kept Iowa State in the game offensively in the first half. Kingsbury picking up his 4th foul. Beecham, big game off the bench. Hoiberg always does his job for Jess Settles. A tough day, on a day that physically he was not 100%, got into foul trouble, and that sometimes is a byproduct of not feeling well and not being able to get your feet down and moving as quickly as you want them to.
All kinds of thoughts going through Jess Settles and the other players that have been in this game on the Iowa bench.
It's interesting, you talk about the rivalry. Jess was saying this is not an especially big game to him. At least publicly he wouldn't admit that it was. He said, it's like Tom Davis, this is one in a stretch, and they're all important to him. 6.5, 20 in the ball game for Julius Mika Leak. James Hamilton now comes in. Mika Leak with a big round of applause from the Cyclone fans who are here. Here's Kingsbury knocking home his 5th three. 17 for Kingsbury to lead the Hawks in scoring. We have a timeout with 1:26 to play. We're going to keep it right here. Remember, the Hawkeyes are home next Saturday against Long Island. It's a 7:05 game. There are still tickets available for that one, and the one the following Tuesday against Western Carolina. And then that's it as far as availability of tickets to home Iowa games. For the Cyclones, they also get ready to work on semester tests, and their next home game a week from tomorrow against Western Carolina.
Well, you look at this game, and of course, you say, gee, maybe Iowa's going to struggle because they don't have a big guy in the middle. Well, that's right, they don't now, but they will have Russ Millard. He is registered for classes and will be back second semester. The problem is he will have to wait a while. It is the 5th game of the Big Ten season. He has to wait till actual semester classes of the second semester start. He will be able to practice with the team before they go to Hawaii. He cannot travel, cannot go there. And then he'll have about 10 or 11 days to practice with them after they get back before he becomes eligible.
So the date marked on Millard's calendar, January 21st against Wisconsin. That will be his first action. Now let's take a look at our Northwest Bank shot of the game.
Well, the Cyclones have done a great job with shooting the basketball. Mika Leak has the good first half, but it is the second half Beecham that finds the net. He beached that one from 3.
11 second half points off the bench for Hurl Beecham. The Cyclones to go to 6-1. The Hawkeyes to suffer their first loss against the team that, as we mentioned, a lot of people feel can contend for the Big 8 championship. Hoiberg trying to get it in. And he could not find Mikalik because Kenyon Murray kept getting in his way. Wherever Mikalik went, Murray was there. Carter. How about the impact of this loss on Iowa, Mac? Do you think it will have any kind of a lingering effect?
Well, right now, that's what you start to find out. You know, somewhere along the line, coaches generally don't mind one loss in December because you got to find out how your team reacts. Do they get down? Do they stay down in practice? Are they able to bounce back quickly? In that respect, that's what Coach Davis will find is one of the positives, even in the loss situation.
Having a week to think about it, is that good or bad at this point?
Well, I think it's okay because your mind really has to turn towards finals. You know, it's critical to get that done. And then you have 2 quick games before heading to Hawaii. And looking ahead, you would hope Iowa offense get going again. They get Tom Davis, and you look at Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd's a little disgusted.
Beecham with the foul. I think he wanted it against Bartles as they collided going after the loose basketball. There's the story down to the final minute and 3, and Iowa State about to win in Iowa City for only the 3rd time in school history. Hawkeyes have an overwhelming lead in the overall series of 33-13, but the Cyclones will have won 3 of the last 4. For Tom Davis, they'll have to wait a week before he tries to capture the victory that will put him ahead of Lute Olson and make him the all-time winningest coach in Iowa basketball history. Ed Hightower has now come over to take a look at our replay and wanting to know if we have a clock on our replay, which we do not. So you didn't tell Ed Hightower what he wanted to hear, Mac?
No, he was looking for help with the clock. It was not inserted, so unable to help. And right now, Coach Floyd thought there should have been more time off the clock.
And Bartles will go to the free throw line momentarily after Ed Hightower straightens out the clock here. It was a 103. He's taken 5 seconds off. So apparently Tim Floyd won the debate, and we're down to 58 seconds. Here's a final score of interest around college basketball. Florida keeps on rolling. They come back from the loss at Kansas and win again as they knock off Texas. So they bounce back. We talk about teams bouncing back, Mac.
And that's what you want to find out. You go into a tough place like Kansas, you lose. Now you play a team that can really put up some points in Texas. And Tom Davis saying, now wait a second, we need to put back on a minute. I thought you took off a minute too fast.
A 12-point game in the final minute. This veteran Iowa State team with the sophomore guards, Hayes and Holloway, putting up their first road victory. Hoiberg fouled by Bartles. Make it Kenyon Murray, and that will be his 3rd foul. 48 and a little more left on the clock, and Fred Hoiberg in a brilliant career at Iowa State. He has hit 23 consecutive free throws as he goes to the line today in double figures for the 35th consecutive time.
Well, Larry, when you talk about this game and what it means as Hoiberg misses, you've got to go ahead and say the one concern Iowa had was that big man. How dominant can they be? Well, they found out Lauren Meyer could be very dominant. So it will be necessary to get Millard back in playing shape, as well as the experience for Ryan Bowen and John Carter in playing against that size. The good thing in the Big Ten, if you want to look there, is some of those big people, Javon Howard and Jalen Rose and Glenn Robinson, all left a year early and went to the NBA to get a little cash.
Boy, that's why it's such a wide open Big Ten race that we look forward to in January, February, and March.
It's true. 9 teams put a streak together. I think there's 9 teams that have a chance to really make an effort, certainly for the upper division, if not for the top 1-2 positions in that championship.
Last for fouls, Holloway. The Hawkeyes in their first 5 games setting or tying a school record in every game, but today it has been a second half that Iowa State has taken command after it was a 1-point Iowa lead at the half. Meyer comes out. What an effort by Lauren Meyer. Double figures, points and rebounds, and about 4 block shots. I think that'll be the official total on that, but he was really dominant inside.
And if he keeps playing like that, that is all Big 8 potential, even with people like Big Country in there.
There are scouts who think he is a lottery pick in the NBA. And certainly with a performance like this, his stock goes up. First 2 for Glasper.
Well, we talked this afternoon, Larry. We said we thought this game would not get to the 80s. Teams expect to be in the 70s possibly. And that's just about where it's going to be. And that was no genius as you look at the Iowa bench. Certainly not a happy crew. But you have 2 very good defensive teams. The other thing you can still look at from the Iowa standpoint is they did play good defense. There was nothing easy about what Iowa State did. There came 2 streaks, Mikalik and Beecham, that shot it extremely well. You expect it from Hoiberg. Hoiberg is the great player. So Hawkeyes still have some positive things to look at in their future.
Kingsbury fouling out with a Iowa leading 17 points. Beecham 15 off the bench for Iowa State. Another big factor for them. When they were making that run, he knocked in back-to-back threes. And now Tom Davis will insert some gray teamers into this traditional rivalry. Number 50 is John Fritzl. Number 45, Nate Cook. As you look at Hoiberg and Hayes and Holloway, and Tim Floyd also making changes. Mikalik. Beecham to the line. Sean Jackson, number 22, in the lineup for the first time for Iowa State. Joe Motorman, number 3, comes on. Also, Joe Hebert, the junior college transfer.
You look at Tim Floyd as he marches up and down a little bit in front of his bench. You know, the situation as a new coach, expectations kind of difficult. You've got veteran players coming back, but you got a new coach, uses a little different style. How do you adjust? How do you adapt? What you've seen here today, things are heading the right direction for the Cyclones.
Cyclones with 5 players in double figures. Mikalik's 20, leading the way. Meyer and Beecham 15 apiece. Hayes with 10. And Hoiberg with 15.
The thing I see out here, Larry, for the Cyclones is the ability for them, with the way they handle the ball and shoot free throws, to win some games on the road. And of course, that's been their nemesis over the last 2 or 3 years. Can they win on the road?
Carter wants to take it to the hole. And he will have to get his points at the foul line. Jackson with his first foul. 11.6 seconds left as Carter will go to the free throw line in quest of his 3rd point. So the Hawkeyes will go to 5-1. The Cyclones will go to 6-1, and they are a basket away from being undefeated. A controversial loss, in fact, in their only loss. Tom Davis's team with a week to get ready for Long Island.
I know it's basketball season, but we do want to say congratulations to Gary Bender, Mr. Bender, Co-College, for winning the Gagliardi Award, Outstanding D3 Football Player.
Moderman at the horn, and the Cyclones win for only the 3rd time in Iowa City as Tim Floyd has come up with a big win. He's won 2 in the interstate rivalry this week. Beat Drake on Tuesday, comes back and beats Iowa in Iowa City on Saturday. Hawkeyes suffer their first loss of the season. Final score, Iowa State 76, Iowa 63.
Hello, Norwest. Yes, that's right. We do have a new slogan. Norwest to the nth degree. What does it mean? Well, it just means that we go a little further to make sure that you're happy. Yeah, we do that. Right, we go that far. Not that far.
Hey! What? We got all these extra value meals, and they just gave us one price.
At McDonald's, just $2.99 gets you your choice of 4 delicious extra value meals every day.
What do you think?
Oh, that looks good. Do that.
What?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Free meal, what a deal. Check your newspaper for a valued customer card or ask for one at your nearest McDonald's. Complete your card and your next extra value meal is free.
This game has been brought to you by Northwest Banks to the nth degree. And by True Value. See your True Value hardware store. Help is just around the corner. The Cyclones in a position to win their second consecutive state championship as they beat Iowa this afternoon, 76-63. 5 Cyclones in double figures led by Mika Leaks 20. Our next game on the Iowa Network will be a week from tonight, Saturday at 7, as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on Long Island. Iowa against Long Island next Saturday. Hope you'll join us. This has been a copyrighted presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Iowa basketball is brought to you by your local Dodge dealers, Pabst Brewing Company, your local Ford dealers, Bell Brothers Heating and Cooling, your local...
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Trebek. Each weekday at 5, be sure to join me for Jeopardy right here on Central Iowa's favorite, Channel 5. And then stay tuned for the very latest in world and national news with ABC's Peter Jennings. Remember, the answer is Channel 5 News at 6 with Rod Fowler and Andrea Sawyer. The correct question, of course, what station should you watch for Central Iowa's best news? Now, with an information superhighway like this, it's no wonder Channel 5 truly is Central Iowa's favorite.
Good morning, America.
It's on every morning.
I never watch television.
I'm a big fan. I watch every day.
Joan and Charlie and a whole crew of them over there.
Joan and Charlie.
Joan London's a really great newscaster.
Smart, on the ball.
Charlie.
I like how he interacts with Joan. Yeah. Well, Good Morning, America. Joan and Charlie. Spencer Christian.
He's a natural.
Yeah, I like him doing sports also. Good Morning, America. It's a great show. What more can I say?
There's only one late-night TV show that gives you something you can't get somewhere else.
Helicopters passing directly overhead here in Mogadishu.
Only one program that helps make a complex world clear. ABC News Nightline with Ted Koppel.
This is where the bomb went off.
It's the only show on late-night TV that makes a difference in the morning. Turn up your brightness level. Watch Nightline with Ted Koppel.
Nightline's now live every weeknight at 10:35 here on WOI.
Iowa and Iowa State are both off to great starts this year, but one team's early season run would get a whole lot better this afternoon. The Hawkeyes and Cyclones meeting in Iowa City for the much anticipated in-state showdown. Tim Floyd hoping to make sure Iowa State gets off to a better road year, and Julius Mikalik gets him going early. ISU on a 7-0 run, Clones up 5. But the Hawkeyes battle back with the bomb. Chris Kingsbury bringing back visions of his Drake performance, back-to-back threes. Hawks up 6. Jess settles with a two-hand tug on the breakaway after Kingsbury steals, and Carver Hawkeye is rocking. Iowa State makes a late half run. Hurl Beecham rips a three-pointer right before the break. ISU within 1 in a low-scoring defensive affair, 28-27. Iowa State has made a habit of strong second halves. Another one today. Derek Hayes hitting some big J's, and Fred Hoiberg, after a game and a half of silence at Carver Hawkeye, breaks out of it with some tough three-pointers as the Clones open up a 13-point lead. The Hawks made a couple second-half runs. Never much of a threat, though. Beecham hitting some clutch shots, and Lauren Meyer with a strong day in the paint. Great effort to get that one up and in. Iowa State wins it 76-63. The Big Four seniors with big games. Euler with 20, Hoiberg and Beecham with 16, Meyer with 14. A big win for Iowa State, 76-63, the final huge road win. Post-game comments and a full report from Iowa City coming up tonight at 10. Big win for the Cyclones, tough day for the Hawks. Everything else in the Big 8 is tonight. Just one Big 10 game this afternoon, and that one
road test today, and this is Tim Floyd's first close encounter with the Iowa Hawkeyes.
The Hawks, on the other hand, are undefeated and looking to make Tom Davis Iowa's all-time winningest coach, as if this game needs more writing on it. Julius Mikulik with a hot hand early for the Cyclones. He hits the first 5 field goals of the game for ISU. The Clones take an early 11-9 lead, but the Hawks come back from the 3-point stripe. Chris Kingsbury hits a 3 over Fred Hoiberg. He had 2 straight trays to give Iowa a 6-point lead. Iowa up by 1 at the half, but it was all Iowa State but the Hawks hanging in there in the second half. Ryan Bowen takes the inbounds pass and puts it in for 2. Iowa up 30-29, but it was all ISU from there. Fred Hoiberg comes alive, and the Clones start knocking down trays. This one from long distance puts ISU up by 10. They go on to beat Iowa 76-63. We'll have postgame comments coming up tonight at 10, and of course, that's not all we're going to have coming up tonight at 10 on this abbreviated version of sports.
We'll look forward to it.
All right, we'll
Thanks
be right
a lot,
back.
Heather.
We'll be right back.
Just how far will this meddling mother-in-law go?
Was she trying to set up your wife with other men?
On Jenny Jones.
Monday at 3 on Channel 5.
2 years ago, the Iowa State Cyclones went to Carver Hawkeye Arena and took a beating. The kind of beating you don't easily forget. Today, the sophomores from that team are seniors, and as Channel 5's Jeff Grummer tells us, they had fun returning the favor.
It was time to unwrap the rivalry in Iowa City today as the Hawkeyes and Cyclones played some holiday hoops, and Julius Mikulik had the first hot hand, giving Iowa State an early 5-point lead. But Chris Kingsbury answers with a pair of threes and a helping hand on a Jess Settle slam. It's Iowa 23-18. But just before halftime, Hurl Beecham throws in the 3, and ISU trails only 28-27 at the break.
We were pleased. That was the kind of game plan we wanted, and they seemed like they wanted to run it more. So we were pleased at halftime.
But for the Cyclones, the fun had just begun. Fred Hoiberg drops in the 3 and helps the Cyclones get up 38-32. Then it's Lauren Meyer with a big-time shot and a big-time celebration as the Cyclones soar out in front 61-46. And while Iowa State was hot, Iowa was not, shooting just over 31% from the field, while on the other end, ULO leads the way with 20 points as it's an early exit for the Hawks and plenty of Cyclone smiles as Iowa State beats Iowa 76-63.
We're very, very proud of this basketball team. That was a good win for us, and defensively, it's the first time that we've really put 2 halves together.
We did play poise, and that's a great sign for us because we've had trouble on the road, and to establish something like we did tonight, that should give us some confidence.
So it's rave reviews for the road show as the Cyclones pack up a win by putting the brakes on the Hawkeye fast break.
There are a lot of things that we felt we could have done better, but a lot of times a good opponent doesn't allow you to do that they have the capability of shutting you down. That's where you just give the opponent credit.
Thank you very much for that report, Jeff. Iowa State now 6-1. The Hawkeyes are 5-1. Rudy Washington.
Heather Burnside with the highlights. Great game today. Well, going into today's game, Iowa State had won in Iowa City just 3 times, and it was Coach Tim Floyd's first close encounter with the Iowa State rivalry, but it didn't matter. On the other side, Tom Davis going for his 169th win to become Iowa's all-time winningest coach, but Julius Mikulik with a hot hand early for the Cyclones. He hits the first 5 field goals of the game for ISU. The Clones take an early 11-9 lead. The Hawks come back from behind the 3-point stripe. Chris Kingsbury pulls up, hits a 3 over Fred Hoiberg. Iowa by 1 at the half. He led the Hawks with 17 points. Then the Hawks hang it in their second half. Ryan Bowen takes the inbounds pass, puts it in for 2. Iowa up 30-29, but they would not lead again. Iowa State started a 17-5 run. Fred Hoiberg comes alive, and the Clones start knocking down 3s. This one from long distance puts ISU up by 10. Then the Clones close the deal with a spark from Hurl Beecham. He comes off the bench to score 13 second-half points. This 3 gives Iowa State a 58-44 lead. Beecham with 16 points. Lauren Meyer with 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. Tim Floyd and company walk away from Iowa City 76-63 winners.
I tell you, I think our players now will buy into what we're trying to do, and I'm very happy for our fans. And I'll tell you who else I'm really happy for is Johnny Orr. Johnny spent an hour and a half with me on Monday talking about this game.
They're good. I think that's a real strong team. Coaches in the Big 8 of, why they picked them, and I agree with them.
It's a great feeling, and we came out, we had to put 2 halves together to beat these guys, and we did that today.
Iowa's loss is just the 5th time they've dropped a game to a non-conference opponent at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Well, Well, after an improved performance against Iowa State.
4 seconds left. Jean-Jacques going to get it to George Butler. Needs the 3 to tie, and at the buzzer he does. That deserves a wow. So tied at 72, go to overtime. Don Reed with a slam dunk. Hoyas up 2, but then tied again at 75. Jean-Jacques with a 3. And after Harrington and Iverson had fouled out in regulation, the Hoyas go on to win it in overtime in a wild one. It was crazy go nuts toward the end, 83-80 the final. Also, Arkansas over Murray State as the Racers lose. Here are some more scores in the top 25 today.
Now that Herb Cole's been number 4 Kansas at NC State. Jayhawks raining threes all over the place. Sean Pearson from the right side. Did we mention Sean Pearson from the other side? Yes, Sean Pearson. Then Roy Williams gets the response from the Wolfpack. That's Ashua Benjamin, and he hits the 3, but yes, then they come back, more threes. Gerard Haas, and there it is, a 3-point kind of evening for Kansas. Jayhawks win it by 5. They break the school record for 3-pointers in a game. They hit 15. Sean Pearson had 5. Wolfpack loses for the first time this year.
Chris Webber coming off his best game as a Bullet, 20.
Be on screen for a full 6 minutes. That's 12 times longer than the real thing. And the actual tiny OK Corral was greatly expanded to meet the filmmaker's needs. Nevertheless, it's one of the more memorable versions of the often told story. And the Earp phenomenon keeps growing. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott, and Bill Paxton headed for their meeting with the Clanton gang in Tombstone, one of the most elaborate and exciting recreations of the infamous showdown.
Oh, that's not what I want.
Oh, my God.
One of the most acclaimed and most influential westerns was High Noon, starring Gary Cooper as the sheriff of a town whose citizens, at a time of crisis, desert him one by one. But, having sworn to uphold law and order, he stubbornly stands by his code of honor. His new bride is played by Grace Kelly.
Will, we were married just a few minutes ago. We've got our whole lives ahead of us. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
You know, I've only got an hour and I've got lots to do. Stay at the hotel until it's over.
No, I won't be here when it's over. You're asking me to wait an hour to find out if I'm going to be a wife or a widow. I say it's too long to wait. I won't do it.
Amy.
I mean it. If you won't go with me now, I'll be on that train when it leaves here.
I've got to stay.
Gary Cooper's understated, superb portrayal as Sheriff Will Kane would win him an Oscar as Best Actor. High Noon, written by Carl Foreman, produced by Stanley Kramer, and directed by Fred Zinnemann, was hailed as Hollywood's first adult Western. In telling the story of the courageous but seemingly doomed lawman, the film redefined the character of the Western hero, giving him new meaning and dignity. Despite impossible odds, the sheriff is near victory when he must face one final obstacle.
All right, Kane, come on out. Come out of your friend here and get it the way Pierce did.
I'll come out. Let her go.
As soon as you walk through that door. Come on, I'll hold my fire.
During his long and distinguished career, Gary Cooper had played the hero in many films, but mostly he would be remembered for his moving performance in High Noon. Later he would admit, it was a part that took everything I had, and I gave it everything I had. It was said of Gary Cooper that he had the ability to express for the world and his countrymen all that was best loved and most admired in the American spirit.
When we returned, they died with their boots on and dances with wolves.
We've brought you here for a little chat about your teeth and some good news. An instrument made to get between teeth that you can comfortably use at home. The new generation Crest Complete. First, Crest created a brush to fit your teeth, designed to penetrate and clean far between them. Now new Crest Complete goes even farther than before. The better you care for your teeth, the more you and your dentist can enjoy these little visits. New Crest Complete, the dentist's choice for rippled brushes.
Something's been overlooked in the design of women's razors. The woman. Now there's a razor that adjusts to your legs and underarms, even bikini line. Norelco Silhouette, the first razor designed to shave a woman where a woman shaves.
Looking for a different way to spice up dinner? Take a new look at cheese. Think of cheese as a zesty way to perk up your chicken, or cheese as a tangy topping for tastier fries. Awesome!
Gift Givers Pop Quiz. You've got no time left to shop and lots of people left on your list.
What do you do?
Give speed this holiday season. The ultimate thrill is the price. Speed, a great gift for $19.98 or less.
Craftsman offers so much. There's something for every wish list. Like this versatile Craftsman detail sander or this Craftsman 3-drawer tool chest. Your choice, only $39.99. Only at Sears.
Television of the future? I've got it now. DirecTV. It's movies, hit movies, tons of movies. It's like browsing in a video store right in your living room and always finding what you want. Ooh. The hit movies I want start every 30 minutes. Now, for just $2.99 each, the movies come to me. All digital, so I can get a great picture with CD sound. That never happened before. For more movies, sports, and cable networks, get your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV at your RCA dealer.
Later tonight, it's Jay's last show from New York, and what a trip it's been. With Rosie Perez, Brooke Shields, Conan O'Brien, Iron Jay, and Iron Rush.
See you at the gym.
Plus, Jay gets busted.
White meat, you told us there was no turkey left.
And NBC tonight.
They sound sexy and seductive. But who's really on the line? The dark side of the phone sex industry revealed. Our investigation continues. Dateline Tuesday.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the West.
It's the funniest comedies in history and the funniest show of the year.
You are a meathead.
Celebrate 40 years of TV's funniest families.
Ricky, this is it.
The Bradys to Bart, Fonzie to Frasier. The funniest moments from history's funniest comedies.
I'm coming to join you, baby.
Alan Thicke, Felicia Rashad, Meredith Baxter. TV's funniest families. 10, 9 Central, NBC Saturday.
I work at home. I'm a tax accountant.
I'm a puppeteer.
U.S. West knows every home office is unique.
Personal taxes. Business taxes.
Monsters! So U.S. West introduces the Home Office Consultant. Now you can call an expert who knows phones as well as you know your business.
1040, the long form.
Oog, caveman.
Giving you simple answers, like how to separate your work calls from your personal calls.
My consultant suggested custom ringing.
One ring says for my business.
2 ring sets for my daughter.
Call 1-800-898-WORK for U.S. West Home Office Consulting and the free advice that'll help make working at home even easier.
Kids are my best audience.
And they're tax deductible.
Call 1-800-898-WORK and get this free U.S. West Home Office Resource Guide filled with all kinds of valuable information for making your home office run even smoother. Call 1-800-898-WORK.
From WHO TV 13 Des Moines, this is a 24-hour news update.
42 degrees, I'm Lori Groves. Police have a homicide case on their hands. Patty Hollett's body was found this morning north of Des Moines. Hollett was missing for 9 days. Her body had been set on fire, but exactly how she died won't be known until an autopsy is done. A North Carolina neurosurgeon's license